Chevy Chase has been all over the news with his continuing scandal about his use of the N-word. He has said he's not a racist, but my question is, aren't you indeed a racist if you're using that word in everyday speech? Okay, point of order, Tom. We do have some credibility in answering here because we, on whatever night it was.
We didn't direct the documentary, but we did watch the documentary.
We watched the documentary with all the background on this
CNN.
in it. It's a CNN, right?
Which was really powerful.
It was really powerful. Very well done.
It's really well done.
It's called I'm Chevy Chase and You're Not. And then we discussed this at some length before we even read this question.
And then I discussed it with my sister
Oh,
because
good.
she watched it before we
Oh, that's
watched
true.
it.
She did. She recommended it.
Yeah.
And then, just for the heck of it, not for the heck of it, but I recommended that we rewatch Caddyshack for the 94th time because we wanted to remember.
940th time.
That's true. We wanted to remember what Chevy was like at his height because he's not at his height anymore.
Well, we had just watched the Griswold Christmas.
Oh,
too.
well, we did that over Christmas.
Right? We watched that over Christmas.
And by the way, we
is
were
so
shocked to
funny.
find in the documentary that he and his still wife, who's been with him
Jane.
for it's been a
Almost
long time,
40 years.
40 years. Before Christmas every year, they take their show on the road and they go do road shows in theaters about Christmas Vacation because it's
They do
such a
Q&A, and
cultish
it's a
sort of
it's a
classic.
pop
It has
culture.
a strong following. And here we are on this show talking about how every year we kind of reorder our Christmas movies and we're starting to put it more at the top because Christmas Vacation
It
is
is
really
funny.
funny. And I could
is
watch it
so
tonight and I
funny.
would laugh
Oh,
18 times.
Anything he did
But
was funny.
he was really good as that sort of clueless dad and that we could all relate to in
Yeah.
different ways. But okay, now back to the N-word controversy. Do you want to talk about it or you want me to go?
In the documentary,
Yes.
he addresses that.
He does.
And there's also a gay
There was a gay incident.
incident
Yes, okay.
with Terry Sweeney, but I think that when he said that he
Okay, so let me just do the
okay, you could
the
sum
background.
It up.
Okay.
You're the
They
summer
show the clip of him and Richard Pryor on Saturday Night Live, and they had co-written a sketch. This is back in 1975. It's the first year of Saturday Night
Yeah.
Live. So this is 50 years ago.
Right.
Times were a little different, but Richard Pryor had signed off on. He's playing a word association game with his potential. Chevy's playing the boss who's looking to hire Richard Pryor. So he's playing word association. I guess I don't know what he is, but they're playing word association.
It was funny.
Yeah. Okay. Just for the record, as I've said 1,000 times on national television, the N-word spoken by white people against black people that ends with the hard ER is simply the most evil word in our English language. And I've said many times, I wish we could somehow make it illegal to say it, like abolish it from the language and make it a jailable offense if you're caught saying that word. That's how evil that word is to me, spoken by white people against black people.
Right.
Okay, so back in 1975, they thought it was funny, and I assume Richard signed off on it because he played the sketch with them, where they're going word association, and then Chevy gets more and more dark with his references. Like if I say honky to you, you say what? And
But also, Richard Pryor was known for, he would curse and he
would.
said the N-word millions of times in his act. That was his thing.
he did, but it's okay for black people
Right.
to say it.
But he was close with
Yes.
Chevy. They were close.
And then obviously that word morphed, and the black community, as everyone knows now, took possession of that word and drained the poison out of it and changed the end of it to an A and made it a term that they use as black people to black people as an intimate term, like we're all in this together.
Right.
You know, hey.
Endearment,
Hey,
yeah.
okay. It's a term of endearment within the black community. Okay,
Right.
so, all right, we get that. But it got so bad in this sketch that it went all the way to they're trading back and forth. And Chevy uses the the bad N-word for white people
I
to
don't
black
know if
people.
that was improvised. It
I
could have
don't
been
know.
because they were going
But he
back
just
and forth.
flat out says it in
Right.
19... There is no way you could get away with doing this now.
He would have been thrown off the air
But
immediately.
it was in the spirit of the sketch where they're escalating,
Right.
escalating, back and forth,
Right.
word association. And then the sketch just ends after he goes N-word with hard
Right.
ER.
Right.
And so Chevy's excuse for saying the N-word, this was on Community, a show he was on for 15 years, which is hard to believe, right? That's a long...
15
Was it, or maybe it was 9
5
years.
years. Wait,
It was
I
long.
don't think it was 15.
It was
Tyler,
long.
how long was Community on for?
No,
I mean,
that
he
he
was
on. I think
5
for
or 6
maybe
years,
it's
I
9
think.
years. 9 years. It was longer than you think it is.
Yeah, it wasn't 15, but I
read
think it
this.
was long.
But it ended one fateful session when they're doing a sketch that... Are you looking it up?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. Is Tyler
Okay.
not there? Oh, okay, because I had it, but well, you can go ahead,
Okay.
Skip.
They're,
Yep.
they're doing a sketch where
Where he says again, "I'm not racist." That's what he responded to.
he said the spirit of the sketch was that he could say that word, so not for broadcast. He says it, he said jokingly to the fellow actor who was black, and I think it was a she, and she was very offended by it. I don't know the show Community.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
He was on 5 seasons.
5 seasons.
Yeah,
Okay,
5.
I'm sorry. Okay, 5 seasons.
still-
But it ended that night
Yeah.
because the director, who's featured many times on camera in this documentary, then said, Chevy, he went to the dressing room with him and said, hey, you've got to go apologize. I'm not going to apologize. I used to say that word.
He said, "I'm not a racist."
I'm not a racist, but I used to say that to my friend Richard Pryor all the time. Okay, if you're capable of saying that word even in jest, then you don't know you're a racist, but you are.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just me. You can't cross that line and without understanding the gravity of what that means to a black person. And so, I don't know. We could talk all day and all night about, at heart, is he really racist? Does he really hate black people?
But Garrett Morris was in there, and they were very close.
They were very close.
But what they said about Chevy Chase in the documentary is that he was just so used to, he's a comic 24/7.
He's a comic.
He
Okay,
covers up a lot of
so
problems
here's the
that he had in
deeper-
his life.
Yeah, here's the
just by
deeper part of the documentary.
Being a comedian.
Is that he had an abusive childhood in which he was physically abused by both parents. For I don't really understand this, but they said that his mother would wake him up as a kid in the middle of the night, slapping him. I don't know
Horrible.
why. I don't know. And his father would be physically
Just
abusive
horrible.
to him every morning at breakfast.
Yeah, he had a rough.
He had a
growing
rough
up,
childhood, and
As we
and
all
so
have had
he's a
problems.
jokester, and
to cover up his pain.
it's like his salve for his wounds, to anesthetize himself against his wounds during the day. He just jokes and jokes and
Right,
jokes.
and then
He's
somebody said,
constantly
but
joking.
he has to understand, not everybody is in that
They're
mind
not
of
in it.
joking when he
Yeah.
jokes with them, and they don't find
And
it
I
funny.
also think he became such a big star because, listen, 75, 6, 7, 8, 9, and in that range, there's about a 5 to 7 year period during which he did do Caddyshack, Foul Play, and Fletch.
It was
Okay,
endless.
he was about as hot as it got in Hollywood, and I think it deluded him into believing that he was superior to everybody. And he had left Saturday Night Live quickly. He left pretty early.
Before they wanted him to leave.
Because he thought he could become a big Hollywood star, leave New York for LA, and it worked. But he's one of those stars who became such a big star that it was at the detriment of everything around him, at the expense of everything. He lives in his own head, and it's still 1975 to him. So on Community, he's like, well, I'm Chevy Chase,
Right,
and
I'm
you're
okay
not.
to say that,
So I'm still that Chevy Chase who was on Saturday Night Live, and I'm saying the N-word to Richard Pryor and to Garrett Morris, and they're okay with it. So why wouldn't you be okay with it?
Yeah.
I'm Chevy Chase, and you're not.
Right.
Okay, that's just delusional to me. Where it's it's a very sad documentary, and he became a very sad figure to me because he's still trapped in what he used to be, and now he's got this one guy who's sort of stays with him.
Assistant.
It's his assistant, and he's a really good guy, and he puts up with it because he just jokes right back to him. Or what if Chevy's an insult artist, but it's not for laughs. It's just he can't help himself. He just spits out whatever comes into his mind, and it can be extremely insulting to whoever he's with.
It is worth watching.
It's worth. But he is a
definitely
character. He's a psychological
But he also
study.
has health issues now, and so it's
He's got
kind of
health
it's just
issues.
very sad.
And he
But
did have a terrible health issue in which he went into the hospital, and I think he
Stopped breathing.
He stopped breathing for a while, and they thought
Heart.
it was going to kill brain cells,
Yeah.
and his cognitive process was going to be damaged badly, and so maybe it's somewhat damaged
he
now.
said he had a little bit of memory loss, but
But he seems okay with his memory. He can
it's
remember.
worth watching.
Yeah.
It's sad,
So
but
then-
it's worth watching.
His first time hosting Saturday Night Live on his return, I don't know when it was, maybe 1980.
yeah.
Okay. And to your point, he's still in his own world, and he clearly doesn't like gay people. Well, okay, that's fine. You can have your own beliefs, whatever they are, but you can't insult the gay person who's on the show on TV with you. So they did a sketch where the gay man played, Terry Sweeney played
Nancy Reagan.
Nancy Reagan. Yeah. And he opens the sketch by stumbling in and saying, "Hello, Mr. Reagan." And he's making a joke because he's he playing a she. And it was an inside joke.
Right.
And then he insulted this guy. And on camera for the documentary, Chevy's saying, "I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything
He
wrong."
said, "If I insulted him, I'm sorry."
Yeah, I'm
but
sorry.
I didn't.
I
think
didn't.
did.
I don't think he knew what he was doing because he became such a huge star,
He also became a drug addict.
and he became a drug addict and an alcoholic.
Alcoholic,
On
so-
top, he was a cocaine head through those years, and
then
then
later
alcohol got him,
alcohol,
and he had
so-
to go for 2 stints of rehab, and he got out of it. And God bless him, his wife is a saint, and his daughters love
Yeah.
him to death, and they
So
defend
does
him.
the wife.
Yeah.
But he is still an icon, no matter how you slice it. He built Saturday Night Live. It is because of him, besides Jane and John Belushi and all those, Lorraine Newman and everybody. He was Chevy Chase, Saturday Night Live,
Yeah.
Weekend Update. So
Is he a racist? He probably is, but doesn't get it. Is he homophobic? Yeah. Does he have hate in his heart for gay men,
I don't know.
gay women? I have no.
Maybe he's just not aware of.
Maybe he's just not aware. But it's if you know Chevy's work, and that's why we watch Caddyshack. He was shockingly handsome at that
Oh,
point.
he's extremely
and his big
good-looking.
point was the reason he was included in the original Saturday Night Live cast by Lorne Michaels was because he'd be the good-looking one.
Oh, he's so handsome, and he still is good looking.
And then, by the way, there is such dislike of him as a diva star that when they did their, what was it? Was it their 50th?
Yeah.
Their 50th special. When was it? Last year now. It's last year. They didn't invite him. I mean, they didn't have
invited
him on
but
camera.
They
They
didn't do a
didn't.
skit with him.
Yeah. And he said, well, there were others who were invited.
He said, "I understand
Billy
the younger
Crystal.
ones."
Billy
and
Crystal
a
was
lot of-
invited. I think Martin Short brought this point up.
Yeah.
Billy Crystal was in the audience, but wasn't asked
Didn't
to
do it, but he
to
said,
play
"I
a
know,
part."
Lauren. There's only a certain amount of skits, and a lot of the younger ones had to do the skits." But he said, "I was hurt by it."
He said he was very hurt. But by all accounts, he wasn't fun to work with for anybody. And that one director of Community,
Community.
who directed him in other ways, I think he did a couple of movies with him, he was asked in the end, would you want to work with him again? And he was like,
He said,
Yeah.
"Yes, he's still
Yeah.
Chevy Chase."
but in the end, I think he didn't want to work with him anymore. He was just saying that. very sad story, but I would recommend the documentary.
I would recommend it. And I also think that he's not the only person in Hollywood that there are people that don't want to work with people. He's
Oh,
not the only
God.
person.
No,
So
no, that's a fact.
he's not the only nasty person around. Welcome to Hollywood.
Yeah. Chevy, you can't say that word. I don't care what year it was, even in 1975. I don't know how they got away with that.
Well, it's different times.
Yeah, it was.